So did anyone have Disney coming to an IP agreement with OpenAI's Sora on their bingo card for 2025? I mean, I didn't, but if you did, well, you just won a trip to Disneyland. So yeah, in some kind of stunning news in the AI video landscape, that just happened, and there is a lot to unpack here. Grab a mouse by the ears and let's dive in.
I guess we'll be seeing a lot of each other soon.
So Disney have entered the chat, and for once, they're actually not suing anyone. Although, I mean, they're still suing people. We'll get to that in a minute. But the big news here is that Disney have entered into an agreement with OpenAI, becoming the first major content license partner for Sora. This is Sora 2, of course, which debuted back in September of 2022, along with a TikTok-ish app. And to be honest, it kind of quickly devolved into an AI slot machine. A fun one, but, an AI slot machine. I should note that Sora 2 is very capable of generating really artistic and cinematic outputs as well. But, considering alongside their cameo feature, the clear indication was that Sora 2 was positioned to be more of a social video app. Early into Sora 2's release, we had a bit of an IP generating frenzy with folks firing off SpongeBob's, Pokemon's, and Family Guy Wednesday mashups. Now, admittedly, this does seem to be a bit of a marketing play at this point with any new video generation model. You release it with low guardrails, let a few of these go viral, and then you start clamping down. In fact, if you try to generate anything remotely like that over on Sora today, you get stonewalled pretty quickly. Meanwhile, over at the Mouse House, and by meanwhile, I do mean for nearly a century now, Disney has maintained a pretty strong walled garden around their IP kingdom. And believe me, they have no issue with sending out their legal stormtroopers if anyone wants to mouse around and find out. Of course, most recently, Disney have fired off lawsuits, actually along with Universal, against Midjourney, accusing them of vast, intentional, and unrelenting copyright infringement. Disney is also going after Meta, Character AI, and actually breaking, just as I'm recording this, Google. So on the one hand, it might seem a bit ironic and a little bit of a double standard, when you're considering stacking the lawsuits against this partnership deal. But on the other hand, I think it really signals the end of the containment era of AI in Hollywood studios to the integration era. So taking a look at the announcement itself, this will be a 3-year licensing agreement where users will be able to generate short, user-prompted social videos, social being a key word there, that can be viewed and shared by fans. We'll get into exactly where, drawing on more than 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters. Now, kind of hidden in those details is the fact that this is just for masked or animated characters. So like Iron Man with the helmet on, Mickey, Stitch, but no Luke Skywalkers or Han Solos. That's clearly a beehive that no one wants to kick, given, obviously the SAG-AFTRA strikes back in 2023. That said, given the fact that one of the key features of Sora 2 is its ability to generate dialogue, and it does so actually very well.
You checked it?
Yeah, it's all there. Every ledger, every wire transfer. Just like you said, I did my part.
I do wonder how they plan on handling those voices. That said, it's not like Robert Downey Jr. comes in to do the Tony Stark voice for the animated shows. So, my presumption is that they'll train on sound-alikes. Additionally, they do signal, and I do expect some pretty high guardrails. Deadpool is a masked character, but I don't expect that you'll be able to generate very many Deadpool things. The announcement also states that Disney will make a $1 billion equity investment into OpenAI, which, that should fill Sam's code red war coffer pretty nicely. Also, Disney will become a major customer of OpenAI, using its API to build new products, tools, and experiences. And I found this kind of funny, deploying ChatGPT for its employees. I do wonder, do they get the $20 plan or do they get the $200 plan? I tend to think it's going to be the $20 one. Additionally, in terms of the agreement, that's a document I would be fascinated to look through. I wouldn't read it. I'd just give it to ChatGPT to summarize for me. But Sam Altman just said, we expect the Disney deal to drive incremental revenue, and there will be guardrails. Disney can set them and evolve them over time. Which I do have to say, Sam, have you never seen The Empire Strikes Back? Did you not take any lessons from Lando? Now, as to the question of why Disney is doing this, as certainly the deal does seem to favor OpenAI, we can comp it to Disney's $1.5 billion stake into Epic Games. The idea here is that Disney's acquiring an infrastructure layer, basically hedging its way into AI without bearing the burden of going full R&D. Is $1 billion cheaper than Disney building its own AI video platform from scratch? Well, Scrooge McDuck seems to think so, and that duck does not like to throw around gold coins. obviously this whole thing did not happen overnight. And interestingly, actually back in 2024, Disney established the Office of Technology Enablement, or OTE. And more than that, just a few days ago, Disney brought Jeff Williams, the former COO of Apple, to join the board of directors. And according to that press release, the OTE will pioneer AI-driven personalization across platforms, turning Disney Plus into a portal to all things Disney using AI. And ultimately, that to me feels like the next walled garden. Like, I don't think that you're going to be on the Sora platform using Mickey as a cameo. Like, it's not going to be like at Mickey and at Logan Paul in the boxing arena. Put my money on Mickey on that one. Instead, I think the pivot and ultimate plan is to take Disney Plus from a Netflix library of movies and shows and turn it kind of more into like a Roblox TikTok model, which, yes, does sound as awful to me as it probably does to you. But, you know, the idea being, of course, it's a place that you not only watch the shows, but, you know, you generate content as well for a fee. And that's where things start to get even more hairy. Look, the Animation Guild and the VFX Union have obviously had some things to say about the use of AI, and understandably so. But what Disney will be doing with Sora technically doesn't fall under them since it's user-generated content. And look, I'm going to be a bit critical for a minute because there's often a lot of cheering for Disney when they fire off lawsuits against Midjourney or Google, but it's not like Disney has a history of being pro-artist. There was the 1941 animator strike that was triggered by pay inequalities, with some of the in-betweeners and artists making as little as $12 a week, which basically in today's terms would be about $250 a week, and Uncle Walt refusing to recognize the Screen Cartoonists Guild. During the Michael Eisner era, there was the famous Jeffrey Katzenberg quote, "If you don't come in on Saturday, don't bother coming in on Sunday." That was during the blockbuster run of The Little Mermaid through The Lion King, where animators were working 80 to 100 hours a week, famously for less pay than their counterparts at other studios. But those animators were promised pretty massive bonuses if those films performed well, all of which did, but you forfeited that bonus if you burnt out or quit. There was also the famous Robin Williams Aladdin controversy, where Williams only agreed to do the role provided his voice was not used for merch or marketing. And, well, I mean, we all know how that turned out. And on the Marvel side, Disney has aggressively litigated against the heirs of, I mean, I don't even know what to call it. Like, he's not the visual architect. He's like not the grandfather. He's like just the legend, Jack Kirby. Disney has consistently argued that the characters were works for hire. And it's still happening. Ed Brubaker is the creator of the Winter Soldier character, has said that he's actually made more money from his SAG residuals for his cameo in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, than he has for creating the character. Yeah, that's Ed back there standing behind Robert Redford. So Disney bashing aside, I guess I'm never going to get that Disney Cruise Line sponsorship. Where does this leave the industry? Well, I mean, to me, it kind of looks like we're moving into AI silos. Disney now has their family-friendly safe mode Sora. Lionsgate is already working with Runway, and we do know that Warner Brothers is talking to Google. So given the news that Netflix might purchase Warner Brothers, well, that just might give VO quite the content library. Meanwhile, if you're Disney, from a business perspective, this is a smart move. They realize that they can't sue their way out of the future. So, well, I mean, they bought a piece of it. For our side of the fence, well, to be completely honest, while this is it's obviously a pretty big deal in terms of the AI video landscape and AI filmmaking, I also kind of think it's the least interesting thing you can do with the technology. I've been saying for a while now, we kind of have the power to literally depict anything we imagine. So why play with someone else's toys behind a walled garden? Go create your own characters, worlds, and stories. That is much more interesting. As always, I thank you for watching. My name is Tim.